Good day and welcome to Rocket with Chief. My name is Daniel Robus, and I'm hoping to have a conversation that's going to take you places. As I sat at my desk preparing for this episode, I was transported to faraway places and tough conditions where I would rather have been than sitting here behind the desk. Today's guest is an adventurer, a traveler, a brand ambassador, a speaker, and so much more. Gaven, thank you for taking time out of your busy diary to spend with us. It's a real joy for me to learn from you. In a
Daniel,
nutshell, yes,
yeah,
go.
thank you for having me on your platform. I really appreciate it.
Hey, it's a pleasure, man. But for us who don't know you, how would you describe your work to someone that you met at a cocktail party?
Well, if I had to sum it up, I guess I would say I get to hopefully live out my dream, which is to push myself physically and mentally, um, and to be able to travel this beautiful continent of Africa and doing it for a good cause. So whether it's cycling, running, hiking, whatever it is, I tend to do physical things to the extreme over months, and I get to raise funds and awareness for certain organizations. So I guess I would say I am a professional adventurer, extreme endurance adventurer, brand ambassador, life coach, and I get to, hopefully make a difference in this world. But the main reason behind what I do and why I do it is to motivate and inspire people to believe in whatever it is you want to do, no matter how crazy it might sound. So I guess my office is the entire continent of Africa and overseas. I get to explore solo unsupported everything I do.
Wow. Wow. There's been a lot of press about you, Gavin. What did they get wrong most often?
Well, I guess I've had a few write-ups where uh, my cycling Cape Town to Cairo, they got it a little bit wrong, and they said the headline said cycling from Cape Town to the Karoo, which yeah, and then of course my name spelt a little bit wrong. And then I was an ambassador for missing children, South Africa, for 4 years. So doing my island swim and my cycle and my run through Africa, I raised funds and awareness for them.
Awesome.
But while I was on my travels through Africa, cycling to Cairo, some of the locals kind of got a little bit confused by missing children. They thought I was actually on my bicycle cycling looking for the lost kids, but I
My
was
word.
representing an organization.
Oh, my
So
word.
yes, yeah. So, but generally speaking, I've been covered very well. But yeah, it's been amazing so far.
Kevin, you don't just get adventurer and brand ambassador on your business card. How did it begin? How did you avoid becoming an accountant or a customer services agent or
Well, I've been in corporate for a long time and I understand marketing and personal branding. So, and of course, I'm always drawn to extreme challenges and sports and stuff. So, I wanted a big shift in my life, and I decided to obviously get on a bicycle and cycle to Cairo. And having did that, nobody knew me. It was hard to get sponsorships because I had no credibility. Nobody really wanted to cover my stories because nobody had heard about me. So after the first one, that's when things really started to work out for me. Brands started to approach me, making me brand ambassador. And then because then obviously a lot more media started to cover my story. This guy cycling to Cairo to raise funds for missing children. But it was literally how it started was you literally got on the bicycle and that's how it all started. And I can tell you many, many stories along the way. But that's really how it started. Got on the bike, did something extreme, got the exposure, did it for a good cause. The newspapers covered me. And, 5 years later, I've been very blessed to have been covered across many media platforms, Supersport, DSTV, and major TV networks, magazines, and stuff. So I've created a bit of a profile for myself. So but in the beginning, yeah, you had to prove yourself, and you self-funded,
Hmm.
and of course you don't if you don't have a lot of finances, you just got to use what you've got
Hmm.
along the way and just make it work. And some of us we don't need as much as we believe we need. Fancy tech and all these expensive things. I rode on a mountain bike that cost 4,000 Rand, brand new retail, and it got me to Cairo.
No ways. You must have got opposition to that, the first one. I mean, your family, what did they say when you said, surprise, I'm giving up the corporate gig and I'm cycling to Cairo for a cup of coffee? That's a flippin' long way to go.
Well, I actually turned down a great opportunity and I just wasn't connected. I must be honest, Daniel. I was feeling toxic. I wasn't feeling connected and I just needed to do a bit of soul searching and I needed to rediscover myself. And I just thought the best way for me to do it was get on a bicycle and go rediscover myself and reinvent myself. And along the way, there were many interesting experiences. So and of course, my family, they know I'm extreme in that way. Since a kid, I used to do BMX racing competitively, athletics, motocross. So, in terms of the fear factor, I don't really have a fear factor. And of course, parents and family would worry, but I guess, if you're loving what you're doing, I think that's the main thing and people would support you on that.
What was your standout moment of that first trip you took?
Sure. Besides for being almost attacked and followed and malaria and stomach bugs and fatigue and dehydration and sunburn and when I was in South Sudan,
Sure.
along Lake Turkana, it's a volcano, an old volcano. It's almost like you're on the moon there. Everything is so harsh and dry, and the rock and the stone is so sharp, and it's so hot out there. 2 punctures, blisters on my feet, no food, and I'm gesturing to the nomads that live along the Turkana Lake for food and water. I gave them money for that, and 3 days of pushing my bike to get to a point for help. So those are a few moments I can speak about. But I guess the real amazing sense of positiveness was I just left the radio station mentioning that I'm cycling to Cairo, and it was raining that day. People saw me off, and I thought, oh, what have I done? I've actually told people publicly that I'm going to cycle to Cairo. So I started to cry a little bit, riding down the road just as I left Muizenberg in the rain, and this car hooted as it passed, and it slowed down, and this woman put a window down. She gave me $100, and I was like, okay, it's going to work. I think if you just put it out there, you have the belief, and I needed that little bit of reassurance, and it just, I never looked back, and I just enjoyed every single day, as tough as it was and as amazing as it was.
One of my favorite quotes from any author is from The Alchemist, which says, the universe helps you. Yeah, the universe helps you to achieve your destiny. And I think that's what you just summarized there. But how is it possible you could do this? Could I do something like this? What's stopping your average Joe like me from doing something like this? What gets in the way of our dreams?
Well, I guess, we enjoy sabotaging situations by, perhaps fear, doubt, money, time. Can't go to the gym. We love to find excuses for things, but I think if you really tapped into what you really love and what really sets your soul on fire, it would be a little bit easier to do. Okay. But, just knowing that it's going to be okay, and just going out there and just proving yourself that it's possible. And the thing is, people support you along the way. My Cape to Cairo, my run, my island swim, my run from Quebec to Cape Town, I would never have been able to finish all those extreme challenges if it wasn't for human beings. Wow. And it's amazing. You're right. The universe helps you along the way. And it's all about energy. You put out good energy, you receive good energy. That's very simple philosophy.
Now, I'm a trail runner myself.
Nice.
I like to think I can run 4,000 kilometers. What the hell? Did you get dropped on your head? Did you do loops? Well, how do you get a 4,000K loop? What did
I
you
think
do?
I was dropped a few times, Daniel. I must be honest. And I've realized, I do operate slightly different, and I love that about myself. So I initially wanted to run to Cairo, but anyway, so my second time around, because I enjoy running, I decided to run through actually three African countries. So I started in Saint Lucia and I ran through Isimangaliso, and along the coastline and into Ponta da Ora, up Mozambique, all the
What?
way up to Shai Shai area. Then I turned inland, and this is running on the beach, one of those stages. And then I ran towards the left of Mozambique to enter into what was it, Botswana,
Yeah.
and then into Namibia. I was meant to go into Zimbabwe, but there was a bit of political highlights. There was a few, a bit of movement, if I could
Yeah.
say that,
Yeah.
from a political point of view. So I
You
just
didn't
decided not to
want to
go through
die.
there. Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, when you do these things, you need to understand there is a level of risk that you are
Yeah.
putting yourself into. And if you can deal that, get over that, and then just have fun with it. But yeah, then into Namibia, down
Oh my
the west
word.
coast, through Sources Fly,
Oh my
incredibly hard.
word.
And some stages, obviously on the 4,000, there were stages I couldn't run because doing it solo unsupported, your logistics, how much water you carry. I mean,
Yeah.
for every
Yeah.
liter, it's a kilogram. So the more you've got on your back,
No,
and
I
the
get it.
backpack is 15 kilograms, of course. So logistically, you check before what the weather's like, and in the morning, you make a call.
Yeah.
What are you going to put
Yeah.
in? How much you need? How many calories to burn? You know the
Yeah.
story. And there were some stages in Namibia where there is 300 kilometers of absolute nothing. And if you don't have a support vehicle following you where you can just sort of keep, the next day, carry on again,
Yeah.
it's difficult.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
absolute no water points, no nothing.
Oh
So,
my word.
and then through the western side into South Africa, ran along the coastline where I could, jumped through over fences, reserves. I went through national parks, getting authorization. One section, there were ostriches where they were attacking mountain bikers and runners at one stage when they have their babies because they've become very
Yeah.
territorial. And there were incidents where the ostriches were literally kicking the people off their bikes. So I got authorization, but I tell you what, when I saw an ostrich, I really was wary because
Yeah.
there's no way you're going to outrun an ostrich.
And now I will see your ostrich and I'll raise you a giraffe, but that's a different story.
Yeah,
Man-eating giraffe chased me. Gavin,
gee.
how do you put this into your coaching? What is a 4,000K run got to do with coaching someone who's a corporate in Santon?
Well, the thing would be is, you know what, that simple philosophy and logic, you know, you're limitless. It's you decide how far you want to go or how high you want to go. There's nothing the human mind and body cannot achieve. We only put those obstacles in front of us. And through my physical challenges out there, when I've gotten to points where I've thought it's tough, body sore, you've got another 60%. We don't realize how powerful we are when we put in those situations. And sometimes, sadly, when they are in situations of life-threatening, we turn into the superpower. We become extremely powerful within ourselves. We can do things that are just so supernatural. And the thing is, in terms of just keep pushing, fall
Okay.
forward. Failure and success does not come from winning. It comes from failing. It comes from losing. Your success, you don't celebrate your success. You celebrate the disappointments because those are the beautiful golden nuggets that turn things into success.
So those are the learning
Because
moments that
sometimes,
we get,
because
eh?
sometimes we focus more on the positive result and the win opposed to the process of getting there and how we get there.
Gavin, you talk a lot about this, the fact that you can do these long races and you can these long endurance events, not even these long races, because of good things that have happened to you that allow you from these. Where do you plow these back? Where's your focus now from a business perspective? Who are you running for, or cycling for, or swimming for, and why?
So I represented Missing Children South Africa, and then I teamed up with Sinclair Wellbeing to launch their program, which is basically tech and holistic in approach,
Okay.
where I ran 30 days from Quebec to Cape Town, along the
Yeah.
coast, inland, along the coast, which I was an ambassador for that period. Now, currently, I'm not focused on anything. I'm just focused being back in Joburg on my
Okay.
corporate talks. Being in Africa, it was a little bit more from a logistical point of view, it was a little bit more difficult. So
Mm.
that's my main focus at the moment, still dealing with a lot of PR and the press media. Next year, I'd love to go on another adventure. I'm getting itchy feet. And then it's approaching the sponsors,
Okay.
the proposals, the networking, the meetings again, and obviously the return on investment, what they get out of it, and visualizing my next adventure. A K2 would be amazing,
Sure.
or a trek to the South Pole. But
Sure.
it's all a budget, and you're only as fancy as your budget, really. Everybody out there.
You're only as fancy as your budget. I know the Sunto team just had a K2 trek, which was successful, and that's amazing. That's not for sissies. I would rather sweat than shiver. So good luck with that. Why do you think um, you come across a lot of people, both in corporate environments and in your running and adventuring? Why do you think more people are not living their best lives? Why do you think it's a select few like you?
Well, I guess we all want to be successful, and have materialistic gain in our lives, and chase the corporate lifestyle, and create families, and be the best person we can be on this planet. And I think it's really about what interests you, what do you want out of life. And I've managed to live a very minimalistic life over the
Okay.
past few years, getting rid of things. So it's really about what is it that inspires you, and really what makes you happy in life. And
So
for some people,
do you think people then fill their lives with noise rather than the good things that allow you to be pure to who you are?
well, in society today, we've got many distractions. We've got the internet, we've got our phones, and there are so many distractions that probably keep us away from, pursuing what we really want. And the post-pandemic was a great platform for us to really um, um, think about what is important in our lives, because we literally were brought to a point of going into this pause mode, and we had a lot of reflection and a lot of time because there were no distractions, work, meetings, and so I think there's been a great shift and a great response from that. And we are now in looking at our lives and actually wanting the more real connection in our lives. It's
Sure.
not just about the materialistic and about money being successful. I think it's about living again. I think, we've
Sure.
been a little bit disconnected as people, because, when you're born, you've got to be successful. You've got to achieve this. You've got to study. You've got to be an achiever, and we just forget about getting out in nature, and that's really where we recharge our batteries, and it's really where we belong, is out there. And today life is very stressful and very
Mm.
fast paced. It
Mm.
shouldn't be that way, and
Mm.
we should be living a little bit more less stressed in our lives. You can see nowadays how 60% of our nation is diagnosed with a chronic disease, and it shows.
Mm. Sure, that's a good insight. Thank you. From a business perspective, who's your mentor industry role model?
Um, I don't really have anybody. I do enjoy watching documentaries of true stories of people that have come through incredible challenges in life. I read every now and then, but nobody, I don't really connect to somebody at the moment. But yeah, I just appreciate a good story and a real true story of people that have done
So
incredible things around the world.
what's a good one for us to watch, Gavin?
Um, there was this documentary I watched about these two rock climbers. They climbed this one rock in the States that was never done before without rope.
Okay.
And him and his partner did it, and the one guy got to the top, and the other guy just couldn't get past this one stage. But the whole time, it was probably, I don't know, 2-3 months they had to take, but they couldn't come down. They had to stay on the mountain. So they were rigged to the edge in a tent. That was quite inspiring.
Is that Dawn Wall?
I think so. Could have been that.
Dawn Wall.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love the fact that
And then there was
suggested that.
another documentary about this commercial diver, and something happened with the boat and the cord and the bell, and then the boat moved because their automatic engine system that kept the location of the boat went offline, and it moved, and it pulled the guy, and it snapped his cord to his oxygen and his heat supply and stuff. And he literally lay on this bell, what they were operating on the floor. And these guys managed to find him. They took a robot down, and this guy actually was down there for half an hour. And I don't know how, but he lived. That was incredible.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, I like that.
I'll get the name of that documentary and send it to you.
Where do you self-educate?
Last Breath, Daniel. That's what it's called.
Last Breath. Okay, I love that. Last Breath. Gavin, where do you self-educate when you're out of corporate now and you are coaching people who are in corporate? How do you keep ahead of the trends that we are going through as corporate worker bees? How do you stay in touch?
Well, I guess I tend to speak from the heart and from my experiences that I've gone through in life, and we all have a story. We all have this incredible, positive story to tell. I don't really follow the traditional way. I just literally just speak from my heart, and I just really, I just say sort of, yeah, that's really it. I don't really structure things in a sense.
So it's more of a journey with you. Awesome.
Yeah.
If you have learned one lesson through your travels that you think everyone should learn at some point in life. Now, I know you spoke about too stressed. I know you spoke about busy lives and we should calm down. If you had to give a succinct lesson for people to learn that you think is important to all of us, what would it be?
I think go where you feel alive. Do what sets your soul on fire. Life's too short.
Sure.
And have no regrets. Live your fullest life.
Sure.
Because before you know it, you're 60, and all those regrets and all the things you put off saying I should have, I wish I did, do them, pursue them, and whenever you feel fear or you're scared of something, it's really fear is really telling you what you need to do in life. Step into those unknown, step into the out of the box, the comfort zone, and just keep learning, keep growing every day, and keep experiencing and keep challenging yourself.
Wow. I love that. That's brilliant. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions, then let you get on with your winter sun. What's your favorite productivity hack? What keeps you ahead of the game from a business perspective? What do you use?
What keeps me motivated? I guess my motivation is to motivate and inspire the people, and to be able to be positive in other people's lives. And in so doing, it fuels you. The more positive energy you put out, the more it fuels you. It's that symbiotic relationship. And just to try to be the best person I can, and every day be a better version of myself yesterday.
Okay. I like that, Gavin. That's brilliant. What underrated tools are indispensable for your job, whether it's adventuring or coaching or speaking? What are the tools that really make you better than without them?
I think it would be your headspace, your perception of things. You can have all the fanciest things and backup and support, but you are on your own. And the thing is, when you go out there and you do something, you need to realize you are putting yourself at risk. And one of the hacks that I use is I always look at every day is the perfect day, whether it's a good day or a bad day. And you need to realize that, you know, you're not in control, whether you're rowing across the Atlantic, you know, or cycling or running through Africa. If somebody asks me how long will it take me, it would be between 3 months and 8 months, because I'm at the mercy of nature. I'm out of control. I have no control over it. And if you can accept that, you can then get on with it and enjoy it. And by that headspace, whatever comes your way, you'll be able to deal with it.
Awesome. Awesome, man. Awesome. So now, if you had to do anything else other than being an adventurer and a public speaker, what would you like to try? What occupation interests you? I've got 3 more questions for you, and then I'm kicking you out.
Okay, well, I can't be an accountant because I'm dyslexic, so I swap numbers around. That's a problem. But it might benefit people if I put the right digits, zeros behind.
That would be cool.
That's an interesting question. I would love to go and live in like a beautiful tree house in sort of the jungle, Wi-Fi, sort of a reality show, and live like a very rustic, very basic lifestyle. Off grid is something I'd love to do. You know, when you in the big cities, you can pick up all the vibration and everything around you, you know, the 5G and people and energy and stuff. It's quite overwhelming. So I guess for me, I would enjoy doing something like that for a year or two.
Awesome.
Sailing.
Being a
and I just
deckhand.
I think still continuously moving towards becoming more of a minimalist.
Awesome.
I enjoy
Awesome.
that.
That's
My
so cool.
partner
Yeah.
has been spoiling me, and now I've got so many clothes again. It's just overwhelming. I've got too many t-shirts, like, you know.
That is so
So
cool. She must be a good person. Come on, that's brilliant.
unbelievable. Yeah, Nikki, she's my pillar. She's
Oh, that's awesome.
great.
Then, if you had to give a talk to a bunch of youngsters that are just about finishing varsity, what would the headline for the talk be?
Um, that's a good one. I'm a little bit stuck there. What would it be? Geez, the millennials, the new generations, they're quite tricky, I must tell you. Learn how to change a car tire.
Okay, I'll get that there. So get
Yeah,
tactile, people get involved.
yeah.
And then
Go back to basics
go
again.
back to basics. Then my
Yeah.
last one, Gavin, is where do people get hold of you? How do they get hold of you and book you for talks about your many, many great achievements?
Oh, thank you. So you could pick me up on my business card, my electronic business card. I'll send you the information, or you can find me on IG, which is Gavin Sinclair Adventures, and the
Okay.
same on Facebook. Or you can Google my name and surname, and you'll pick up a lot of things that will lead you
Awesome.
to my email. So it's Gaven Sinclair.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Gavin. I really appreciate this time with you. I appreciate the fact that you're living in the big smoke. Me too. 4 ways is all the ways to go.
Okay.
And
Yeah, we must meet sometime when you're back.
we'll go for a run. I'll take you. You can take me
Brilliant.
for a run. That'll be outstanding. I'll do
Brilliant.
comrades this weekend. You can chill.
Are you doing the comrades? Well done. I honor
Thanks,
people who
man.
do the comrades. I think they're the most craziest people.
Yeah, no, it is a thing for me. It's comrades and then Skyrun, and then I think the year's done for me. So it's that'll be fun.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Daniel. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to staying in touch with you.
Awesome. Have a lovely day from me, Daniel Robus. I honor you for all that you do, living your life to the full, Gavin, and inspiring the rest of us to follow. Go look Gavin up on Instagram. It's probably the best place to get hold of him as well. And remember, when he's standing for missing children, we can all make a difference. Be aware of your neighborhood, be aware of where the kids are and who they are, and notice their safety. It's important to all of us. From me, Daniel, have a wonderful day.
Thank you.